Hey, you're listening to Smoke Meat. I'm your host, Brad Pittman. Smoke Meat's brought to you by Joe's Underground at the corner of 8th and Broad in Augusta, Georgia. Come on down there. Jeremy and the gang always make you feel like family from the first time you're in there and every time you're in there. Great food, great drinks, great people. I goes to Joe's and so should you. Corner of 8th and Broad in Augusta, Georgia in the bottom of the Lamar building. Today my guest is Master Hypnotist Gary Conrad. Gary has been doing shows forever. I remember seeing him back in 1990 at the Comedy House Theater in Augusta. Have always loved him. He does such a great show. Everybody gets a good laugh out of it and just has a really good time. Today I get to sit and pick Gary's brain a little bit, and hopefully he's not going to pick mine. If this thing winds up funky, then you'll know I've been hypnotized without knowing it. And, oh yeah, it's liable to get a little wild. So here we go. Let's kick this off with Gary. Hey, Gary, how you doing today, man?
Best day of my life.
Oh, outstanding.
Fantastic. I'm finally on your show.
Hey, the great ones dig deep, man. The great.
Hey, let's go to your website. Very interesting.
Well, thank you very, very
Some
much.
of that stuff you got posted on Facebook and all that.
Yeah, I'm definitely an
Fun
eclectic
stuff.
person.
Yep, fun stuff.
Yeah. I remember, when I first heard about you, I was just getting started in comedy, down there at the Comedy House in Augusta. And I remember seeing your picture
there
on
were
the
two
wall.
comedy houses. Which were you on the one behind the jewelers there, or were you on the one up by I think a Wendy's was next door to it?
Yeah, the Wendy's was next door there on Washington Road.
That was an amazing club. I mean, it was small. I think it held 200, if that. And in terms of utilization, it seemed like every cubic foot of that place was utilized. But they had some wonderful people on stages there. I know I recommended Ron White because I knew him when I used to live in Texas. And I said, you got to get this guy in here in Augusta. Because I used to work Augusta, I guess it was 4 weeks a year, Tuesday through Sunday, and get on the radio or TV, or which everybody thinks you're doing because you're famous or something, but what it really is you're promoting. And America thinks it's sold, not bought.
Yeah, everybody thinks, okay, this guy's on stage, he's rich. No, I've been on stage and I'm support. I got a fart to get a cent in my pocket.
Yeah, well, it's a consummation devoutly to be wished. Yeah, they're all rich. That's funny. But that used to be the old post office, right? I think the millionaire.
Post office was
a lot
the
of
one behind the jeweler.
guys that were famous. I'm sorry?
Yeah, the post office, I think, was the one behind the jeweler.
I thought that one. I thought if they had the old post office, which was next to the west, behind the jeweler.
Well, you broke up a little bit. Just
The newest post office. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
You've had a lot of good people coming in and out of Augusta, and I missed all that comedy house since it closed. They had a couple of people take stabs at doing comedy, but nothing that was a distraction.
Yeah, you're getting really broke up.
Oh,
There
well, I'm walking around.
Oh, okay. That's a little bit better.
All right, we're better now?
Yeah. But, yeah, I saw some great people in Augusta, doing open mic down there even. I got to open for some neat people. I got open for, dadgummit, I opened for Carrot Top one time. And
Really?
Yeah, that was interesting.
I bet.
Got to open for James Gregory. That was really cool.
James Gregory.
Yeah, I was one of the few men that ever opened up for the Nasty Girls. That was very interesting.
James is still around. He's getting up there in ages. The lucky ones too, but he's still around. He does his comedy. I guess it's slowed down now with this virus stuff, but it's amazing how he has had such a long career. He's got his following, but he pays attention on marketing like nobody's business.
Oh, you ain't kidding.
He is all about the marketing and advertising and get my poster up there and, you know, can I be on your show? And I don't know if he does a room that's the size of that comedy house. Maybe either comedy house that were there. He does mostly these theaters.
Well,
from what I could tell.
He was in Social Circle not long ago, and I know there's not anything really big over there. So I don't know, but I know he's wherever he goes, he can sell out.
Yep, they love him.
Oh yeah, kind of like this hypnotist I know named Gary Conrad.
Well, yeah, hypnotist, you always got your hand on your wallet when you're talking to him. I'm not going to take this out, even if he suggests it.
Yeah, we did a show in Gatlinburg a couple of years ago. I took my daughters to it, and they talked me into getting on stage and trying to get hypnotized, and the guy couldn't get me under. I was so disappointed.
Well, first of all, they're never under. They're in. And I knew there was no success when you said the word try, because inherent within the word try is an allowance for failure. If I said to you, hey, I'm having a party at my house next week, I'd like for you to attend, and if you responded, I'll try to be there, you just told me you're not coming.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, he
you know, once it becomes a mental arm wrestling contest, the hypnotist doesn't have a chance.
Yeah.
But how should I say? You get more flies with honey than vinegar. So if you can entice them to come up and say, this is so much fun, which actually at the end of the evening, I believe it does become a lot of fun. That's a different scenario. But, you know, I suppose like a lot of other things, you got to get your definitions down. For me, the hypnosis is the alpha brainwave state. If you look at, you ever watch these medical shows where they got kind of that, what do they call it, electroencephalogram, where they got kind of like the sine, cosine type of wavy squiggle? Well, it's one way when, you know, we're speaking as we are now and listening and making evaluations. When you're sleeping, the curve is much flatter. And, of course, when you're flatline, you're dead. But in hypnosis, which they term the alpha brainwave state, it is very, very similar to what you're experiencing right now, just different enough to warrant its own category instead of characteristics. One of which is suggestibility, a type of learning, heightened suggestibility, a type of learning, not susceptibility or naivety. It's more of a type of learning. So every human being goes into alpha just before they go to sleep at night and just before they wake up. So the fact that you had no success in Gatlinburg, in a certain way, that fellow was just negotiating with you to do something for the third time that you've already done twice within the preceding 24 hours, assuming that you slept that night. So that's kind of inside showbiz revelations.
Yeah.
But, you know, the public, as a rule, they're not that interested in the technique or is he hypnotized or not. They're more interested in give us some funny stuff.
Yeah.
And Augusta has had some hilarious. I remember, I guess I want to say it was 1999 when they had that thing when the calendar turns to 2000 and airplanes are going to fall out of the sky and, you know, they're going to be, and all these companies were paying billions and billions of dollars to make sure of something or other. And they thought, geez, a lot of people could be dying. And we had this one gal on stage that said, all right, you're in charge of this project for the whole United States. And you have to articulate your posture on this particular crisis. And she got up there, this gal was saying something to the effect, well, listen, I'm very sorry, but y'all old people, y'all got to go. If you're over 40, you got to go. We're sorry. You had your life. You got to get the younger people a chance." And she went on and on and on. And poker face, you could, I mean, serious as can be. And the audience was just loving it. I thought it was hilarious. But for me, Augusta always had there was always wild stuff going on in Augusta. I remember, I want to say one of the funniest things I ever saw was, and I'll leave a name out, but he was known as the town stud, let's say. Mm-hmm. And all the girls were crazy about this guy. What's that?
You can go on ahead and say my name.
No. What happened was he got hypnotized, and in them days we put I reckon it was about 10 chairs on stage and 2 on a side, or 9, or something like that. Well, he was sitting down below on the side of the stage, and there was 2 empty chairs next to him. So I saw him there, and I knew who he was, or rather what his reputation was. And I got a blow-up doll that was, it had like gym shorts and a T-shirt on. And I said to him, when you open your eyes, you're going to look here, and you're going to see right next to you is the finest looking gal you ever come across in your life. She is the it girl for you. There's just something about her, and it is driving you wild with attraction. You are just, she's it. So he kind of woke up, looked around, kind of sat, nudged over a little closer to her, put his arm around a blow-up doll, and at that moment, a waitress just happened by, and he said to the waitress, "Get me a Jack and Coke and make hers a double." If you see a guy looking to liquor up a blow-up doll, what are they saying in the South? That right there, that's funny. All day long, 24/7.
Oh, man. And the cool thing is, I'm sure stuff like this happens just about every show.
Well, yeah, but, Augusta was always something special.
Definitely.
I had one stage that I want to get risque, but the tables were pushing stuff right against the front of the stage. Mm-hmm. And
you broke up again?
In 83 or something. I had like a little mini curl hat with a flower coming out. And they're watching the show, very polite, unassuming mom, pop, kettle from Kansas. And at the moment, I was given a suggestion that the participants thought I had a gas attack, and that it was very foul, and they didn't like it and all that. And just at that moment, as fate would have it, I experienced a bit of genuine flatulence myself. And what do y'all call it? Diabetes? Yeah. Well, it washes away those 2 innocents. And she turned to him, and while the skit's going on, and the people on stage hypnotized, and I guess she caught a whiff of that, so she goes, "Harvey, you think we might be hypnotized?" I just thought, man, but there are a lot of stories to tell in Augusta.
Oh, man.
About Augusta and how they participated.
Yeah, Augusta's, like I say, it's always been a great comedy town when they got comedy there. And I know after the
they had a couple places.
They had a drought for a long time.
Yeah, but they had every now and then they'll have a place do it, or do it for a while, or maybe we'll just have a guest appearance by a comedic entertainer, and that's that. But it does take markets, I assure you.
Yeah. Now, the place that sponsors my podcast is a place called Joe's Underground down there in the bottom of the Lamar building, down there at 8th and Broad. They have always done, music and just things like that, but they opened up to comedy and just did it with open arms. I mean, they love having it there any chance they get, and it's such a I hate to use the word small, but it's a small venue, but it's.
Well, how many does it hold?
It probably holds.
How many can be seated?
Probably about 100. But
all right.
I mean, it's such a great place. I mean, the atmosphere there is so wonderful. Everybody that comes there comes to laugh, and I've never had a bad time.
Underground, huh?
Yeah, yeah. When we get off the air, remind me, and I'll give you their information. I mean, they're such a great place.
What part of town are they located?
This downtown.
Downtown.
Yeah, the tall building with looks like the mirrors on top of it. They're in the bottom of that, down there at 8th and Broad. Yeah.
I probably been there, but don't remember it.
Well, that's a lot of people's story.
Which means I had fun, not that it was nondescript.
Yeah, that's a lot of people's story. They've been there and don't remember it. Been there. But I always joke. I say I played a lot of holes in the wall, but I'd never played a hole in the ground until I got to Joe's. But they've always just been so gracious.
There was another guy looking to open a comedy club. I forget what part of town. I think it was a Gold Gym or something near it. No, it wasn't a Gold. Yeah, it was a Gold.
Yeah, it used to be a Gold's Gym. I know exactly who you're talking about. He actually wound up opening a sports bar there.
He made a sports bar.
Yeah, because some of the fire regulations and things he would have to do to have live entertainment they were way out of cost for him when he was opening. So he wound up doing the sports bar.
That red tape can surely add to the bill.
Yeah, definitely.
I know in Columbia, South Carolina, they had a club and it moved from one county to another. And the owner said to me, if I knew how much more money I'd have to pump into this project, I would have stayed at the old location. And, but, there is some safety factors, certainly. And nobody wants to be sitting in a potential inferno.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one thing people don't understand whenever they, you have a ticket price that's not $2 a ticket, they think, well, this guy's just trying to get rich. The performer don't get a lot of that, if any. A lot of people don't do door deals. And that's all overhead and things that, you have to do. I'm gonna hit pause for just a second. My wife's calling me. Hang on just a second. Okay. Yeah, but people think that, the performers are going to get rich off these ticket prices. They don't understand the cost of doing these things. I mean, just having your club open is ridiculous.
Well, if you can fill up a larger venue and the economies of scale kick in, then you can make money. But the smaller places, very difficult.
Yeah.
And, what a lot of people don't realize is comedy, if you're doing it full time, that's how you feed your family. And they'll pay up for a song or a video. Back in the day when they sold records or whatever CDs, they pay up for them. So most of the comedy club tickets. I remember the Comedy House was something like usually about $10-12 on a weekend and about $8 during a week.
Yeah.
Itself. So I didn't think that was too bad.
No, they were usually pretty good, and their food and drinks weren't bad either. I think they had the 2-drink minimum, which, yeehaw.
2-item minimum.
Yeah, that's right, 2-item minimum.
Right.
But yeah, to watch my show, you need 2 drinks anyway, so.
Well, they say the stuff we do is funnier when you got a few in you, but...
Oh, yeah. I'm hilarious.
I suppose. Yeah, see, like, for what I do, if they had, like, a drink, that'd be fine, kind of relax them a little. Mm. But, if they go up there inebriated, I can't do anything with them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've noticed one thing in any of the hypnosis shows that I've been to. You have a set. I'm sure there's a certain person like this on every show. You've got that one person who you think is just going to be over the top, and they're not really. And then you have that little shy person who just is, holy crap, is the
where did that come from?
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of times, amazingly, after the show, they go back to that initial subdued persona.
Yeah.
But that does happen. Not every show, but that does happen. I had an instance in Augusta. I think it was around, it was the Christmas show we were doing, because we brought him back to 5 years old, and then we had him visit with Santa Claus, Santa Claus is a bad Santa, long before that movie came out. But anyway, I'm asking this gal who thought she was 5 questions, and she's answering me in German. And after the show, the mom come up, and that went on for a while. So after the show, the mom come up to me, and she had a German brogue, and she said, I'm from Germany. I married an American pilot. We sent our daughter to German schools rather than go to school on the military base. And he, the father, was gone a lot with the military. So at home, most of the language spoken was German.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, we moved here, I guess she said, when the gal was about 12, 14, somewhere in there. And then, of course, she started attending American schools, and she lost a lot of her language skills. Mm-hmm. The part she still maintained that passive recognition, but was not able to do the active replication, actively speak German. Mm-hmm. So my mom, my grandma on her one side, they were both, the grandparents were from Italy. And my mom, too, when they would speak Italian, she could understand what they were saying, but she couldn't or wouldn't speak it. Same type deal. So the lady come up to me and said, she hasn't spoken German, sentences, paragraphs, what have you, since she was about 12. And here she is on stage. I guess at the time she was on stage, she must have been 24, 26, somewhere in there. And she goes, that's the first time I heard her speaking German since just about when we came to America. So I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah, it's funny, people...
Certainly a break from the scatological anecdotes that we gave previously.
It's funny, people don't understand what the mind's capable of. I mean, it's an amazing thing. It just... Man, you hold a lot more than you think you do. And...
Well, I guess.
But
there was one boy, he told me it was a bunch of them, they were their favorite entertainment stars. So this guy's doing Elvis karate kicks, and he swung his leg around. He must have missed my big fat nose by about 1 millimeter. So after the show, I said to him, how long have you been doing your martial arts? He said, what are you talking about? I don't do martial arts. But he had watched so many Elvis videos back in the day that he was doing karate moves and singing, and it was amazing.
Oh, man.
That was the old Funny Bone Comedy Club in Arlington, Texas.
Yeah.
It was a great club.
Well, I know right now with the COVID thing going on, you're not doing a whole lot as far as the shows are going, because,
all my shows got canceled.
Yeah.
In fact, oddly, I got an email from a fella. I was supposed to work him in work his room in Winchester, Virginia, July the 11th. Mm-hmm. And he flat out asked me, how do you feel about doing the show? And I said, from what I could tell, it's a little early yet. Because, you know, if you're a speaker, you're right at the microphone and you're projecting, or, you know, maybe you can have a way via distancing or what have you to make it, you know, safe or safer.
Yeah.
But with what I do, they're almost exchanging body fluids. I mean, they're running all over the place on top of one another.
Yeah.
And truthfully, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything probably until next year.
Yeah.
Or at least whether it's determined whether they get that second outbreak when the weather turns colder or not.
I hope this thing's winding down. I really do.
Well, yeah. I mean, everybody hears that a lot, but, you know, you still got people dying from it.
Yeah.
And, you know, interestingly, I'm told the younger people, a lot of, they just come out with a report saying that if you're asymptomatic, it's very difficult to get it to somebody else.
Yeah, I saw that report, and to me, I don't know how they know that, because
right.
we know nothing about this thing. And, you know, I see this thing every day. Not as much as we did, but it's still there. And it's scary.
My best buddy's a doc, and he says, I give you a doctor, and he said, they're not going to know what happened. It's going to take 5 years.
Yeah.
So they're going to be able to figure it out, what happened and all, but, you know, they still don't really have a vaccine for the flu. I mean, they'll give you some kind of what they call a cocktail, and these are the most likely types, but all types of flu don't respond to that, and let alone a common cold. But I think it's going to be a while before the Hypnotist trade gets back on stage. I had a lot of proms, post-proms in the upper Midwest booked.
Mm-hmm.
I had one night, do a midnight show, this little town in North Dakota, and then go down the road 30 miles and do another one a couple hours later.
Yeah.
And both got canceled. And, I mean, if somebody wants to do it, I'll do it, but it's, yeah, I think it would be safer, like with the prom situation, because they're younger, they don't seem to be, you know, affected by it as much.
Yeah, maybe corporate gigs, you know, where everybody, you know, works together constantly anyway. You know, a lot of people are...
I don't know. I don't know if they know. You know, the guy asked me what about our date for July 11th. I told him I'd do what he wanted to do, but I think it's early.
Yeah, I think it is.
And I'd rather err on the side of caution and get somebody sick. I mean, you know, we're not there to get them sick. We're there to entertain them.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I'm aching to get back on stage, but I'm like you. I want it to be where I'm not killing my fans. I want to kill on stage, but not like that.
Figuratively, not literally.
Exactly. Oh, man.
But, you know, but the stand-up, I think they're already doing it. It's come back. I don't know about the shooting and all that, but I'm sure they're probably about 25% capacity.
Yeah,
and they can't live on 25% capacity. You were mentioning fixed costs before. Most of these comedy clubs, the overhead is just so high that they need, you know, they need a packed house.
Yeah.
To make money, because there's, you know, for live entertainment, there are a lot of additional taxes they have to pay, a lot of additional considerations, a lot of different requirements.
Yeah.
And, well, we'll see.
Yeah, well, definitely.
You know, maybe it's going to be an outdoor venue that is going to start this whole thing up first, rather than being inside and then go from there.
Yeah.
But with what I do, I doubt there's going to be much of anything for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to still get people to go to your website. It's GaryConrad.com.
That's me, GaryConrad.com.
And check it out. I'm looking.
And I got all kinds of pictures up there, some of which may have been taken at that Augusta Comedy House.
Yeah, I was looking over it a while ago, and there's all kind of. I like the theme shows.
Yeah, yeah. You know, you talk marketing. I was doing that to differentiate myself amongst competitors, because like any other business, there's always competition. But you know, I just about got putting the final touches on my Italian show, which might be popular around Columbus Day or whatever kind of Italian festival a town might hold. And I do got the Oktoberfest show, which is mostly, you know, Teutonic show. We got Valentine's show, Easter show, Christmas show, Thanksgiving show, Halloween show, Naughty show. We got a squeaky clean one for the kids.
Yeah.
And now I'm adding that Italian show to it. Then I'm going to do like a bar mitzvah show. I got half of that done already.
Nice. Well, man,
So, you know, at times like this for performers, it's the time to write material. And a lot of them are creative, you know, yourself included, in terms of having a way to communicate with the public. But, you know, for comedy, for real good stand-up comedy, I think you need a live audience.
Yeah, because you feed off of that.
And I think it just doesn't cut it when you say, well, great, I'll just video myself doing my act and people are going to pay and see it. And normally they come out in groups of 4, groups of 6 of friends come out. Let's go see this guy. He's pretty dang funny.
Yeah.
And it's just not the same experience.
Yeah, because, I mean, you know, on stage I feed off the crowd. I actually taped 10 minutes the other day on my back porch for a project, and, you know, I feel like I was all right, but I didn't give it what I could, I don't think, because, you know, there was nobody to feed off of. It's me and my camera.
Right. That feedback and then the extemporaneous comments. I think sports could work. I think they could do sports if there were no audience.
Yeah.
Of course, it wouldn't be the same, but I think it could be done. But with comedy, stand-up, I think that audience is essential.
Yeah. Well, Gary, I've had a ball talking to you today on this thing. I could, you're welcome on here anytime you want to be on here. You've got this number. All you got to do is call and say, "Hey, Fat Boy, I want to get on the show," and you're here.
Well, maybe I'll be making sausages for you.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
Well, you know, because I don't know how much more there is for me to talk about the business until we start up again.
Hey, we'll figure it out, man. But I've had a ball with you today, and I appreciate you coming on here so much.
Yeah, sure, anytime.